Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Paul, and on this channel I like to go over things that I am curious about and things that I've looked into a little bit. I like to pretty much share. So with that being said, today I want to go over the idea of looking at people's hurts and not their faults. Okay, and here's what I mean by this. I think a lot of times, whenever anyone wrongs us, we take it very personally, and understandably so, because no one likes being wronged or, having something done to them that they feel that they don't deserve. Okay. Now, one of the things that I have learned with this, and that I always try, I guess this is me trying to always believe the best about people, is especially like let's say it's like a really really big thing, um, is I would go, okay, if everything was going right in this person's life, what are the chances that they would have done this thing? What are the chances? Like, I get this too when, like, let's say you hear it through the grapevine that someone did something. And a lot of people's immediate reaction, oh, no way, no, did they really? Did they really? I think too often we react too quickly, and we think too quickly about how a person's actions define them. And I couldn't disagree more. The way that I have tried to process this throughout my time is I ask the question, what is going wrong in their life? Like the fact, like, why did they do what they did? And when it's something that tends to be like really bad or something, maybe let's say out of character, I ask about where are they hurting right now? Where are they hurting? And so this is the whole idea with this video. Ask about hurts. Don't pay attention to the faults. Okay? Ask about the hurts. Don't pay attention to the faults. Because you will notice, especially if you're in a healthy spot, the amount of, you're going to mess up. You're going to mess up for sure. But the amount of crazy things you're going to do when you're like in a really, really good spot in life is slim to none. Slim to none. You'll mess up because you're a person. And we're not, in this particular video, we're not talking about mess ups. We're talking about like, it's like someone really wronged you like in a pretty serious way. Or one of your close friends, they went out and did whatever, and it was just so out of character, and you're like, man, what? The first thing that I do is assume they wouldn't have done it if they were in a healthy spot. That's the first thing that I do. Because most of the time, people who act out in an extreme way or an out of character, whatever, it's coming from a place of hurt, pain, or anger. So mainly just, you could say hurt, because you can get pain or anger from that, or sadness. So hurt. It's operating from a place of hurt. And what I've noticed throughout my conversations whenever I've talked with people is I just ask, what's going on? How are you doing? Almost every single time, they will respond if they feel trust. They will respond with what has actually been going on. And that's when you really get down to the truth of the matter. And I don't know why we don't do this more with each other when we see parents doing this with kids all the time. How come we see parents able to not ignore, but kind of ignore whatever actions their children are doing, and they see the need or they see the hurt below the action. They're able to like look through. Not that the action doesn't mean anything, because you obviously got to address the action, but they know that, hey, something's going on, that my kid did this, so I got to ask him about that. But yet we don't offer that same grace to each other. And this is something that I think would just be beneficial in general for all of us. If you get wronged, or if one of your friends goes out and does something wild and you hear it through the grapevine, ask how the person's doing. Ask, is something going on? Are they hurting from something? Something happening with family? And I would bet that the majority of the time there's actually something going on. So with that being said, next time you have one of these scenarios where you get wronged or you hear something through the grapevine, instead of immediately focusing all your attention on how bad the thing hurt you or how crazy the thing was that happened, ask yourself, why did they do this? Why did they do this? And then don't try and think in your own head. Don't try and come up with the answer, because sometimes these answers are crazy and you would never guess them. But ask that question. and then let it remind you next time you're with them to ask them that question as well. So with that being said, I will see you guys on the next one.